Hey folks, Ron here. In this episode I'd like to talk sandpaper. The difference between inexpensive sandpaper and expensive sandpaper. For specifically boat building, not for woodworking, not for other things. Okay, this area right here is what I'm sanding. This is my wet edge above the water line, as you can see. I started literally sanding right here. I was using a sanding disc. I've got a 5-inch random orbital sander. I was using a sanding disc. Looks like a lot like this. This is a 40 grit sanding disc, as you can probably, let's see, right there, you can probably tell. 40 grit hook and loop sanding disc. I ordered a bunch of them off eBay. They come from China. They work great. I've used them for years for woodworking. They work great for woodworking. I went through 3 sanding discs in about 3 feet of this size. Okay. Then I switched over to, when I bought the boat, there was a box of these 40 grit sandpaper. They're a hook and loop also, don't have the holes in them. They're made by 3M. They're a green side, I believe they are, sandpaper. They happened to be laying on the deck when I ran out of sanding discs, and I switched over to it. Well, one disc has taken me from 3 feet down the side. I've gone all the way down the side to there on one disc. That disc still is like when I put it on my sander, okay? The hook and loop on the eBay ones, you run them for about 3 minutes and they fly off your sander. The hook and loop on these 3M ones do not fly off your sander. It tends to hold, keeps on working. I'm going to try to do this whole side of my 30-foot sailboat above the water line off of one disc just to see what it looks like. Okay, that's my goal. Just to see how far we get off of one disc. But the word for the day is you pay for what you get, or you get what you pay for. Okay? If you're going to buy your cheap 100-pack of sanding discs on eBay, you're going to get a cheap 100-pack of sanding discs. These 3M sanding discs cost me $41 for a box of 25. They're not cheap, but they are worth the investment. I imagine if I'd have used them in the first place, I could have had this whole boat sanded on about 1.5 boxes of these sanding discs. They take down all of my fiberglass work where I've roughed in and done my deck edge. I don't know if you can see it here or not. That's my edge where I put a layer of glass right across the top and formed the deck to the hull. Made it one solid piece. Better view of it where it's not sanded is over here where you can see the glass a little bit better on there. I've glassed over that edge. And then this is after it's sanded and cleaned up with the 40 grit sandpaper. I plan on coming back with 2 layers of primer, 2-part epoxy primer, and then a couple layers of paint. Alrighty. Hope that was informational to you. Thank you very much.